Guys, I love this film so much. One of the things I want to say is that, the past couple of years, it's been kind of where is cinema going? What's going to happen with theater? People forget how big of a deal it was when silent films went to talkies. How much of that was discussed and this was so beautifully dealt with in the film. I want to start with, I guess, Hugh, as a director, you're coming into this world fresh. How was that for you? Was the conversation in this when you started?
Do you mean the conversation about the parallels between then and now, or just the
Yes.
conversation about silent movies? That's interesting. Not so much. I think we were focused more on just getting up to speed with the details of what was going on in that time, and specifically what it was like. Who were the people that were? I mean, in my case, who were the people that were making movies then?
Mhm.
Because I think we all have maybe a slightly fixed idea, slightly reductive idea of silent movies. Certainly, I know I did. And what we saw was that they were maybe a lot subtler and a lot more ambitious than perhaps I had imagined, right? So yes, there was this tidal wave that came along and swept them aside, but it wasn't for lack of artistry. Not that you said it was. I'm just speaking to myself, and so on and so forth. There was a lot to pick up, is what I'm saying. But I think your parallels are exactly right.
For sure. Michelle, I've loved this character for you. It's such a beautiful character, beautifully played. This, you really get to kind of delve into this with a new character, with working with Hugh. What was that experience like? It's really awesome.
It was great. I mean, I often on Downton, you're working with the set. You're working with your family the whole time, and that's always a joy because we love getting back together. But this film for me was very different because Mary stays at home. She's not the one that goes to, doesn't go to France with the family. And I got to work with the newcomers, which was equally a joy. And I loved working with Hugh. Our scenes were those scenes where it was just the two of us. I really enjoyed when everything is kind of, we talk about that being sort of quite special moments because there's so much sort of chaos within what's going on in the house. And then there's these lovely two-handers that Julian wrote between these two characters, and they have this lovely connection and chemistry. So it was something quite different for Mary being part of this film and being introduced to these new characters. So I really enjoyed it. It was a different sort of challenge this time around.
I agree. Yeah, and Kevin, geez, you told a new world for you a little bit as well. How did you take this on, and what was your experience when you read the script, seeing where you were going with the character?
Oh, I thought it was absolutely delightful. I, every year when we shot the TV series and then the films, you open the script and you start reading it. Oh, right! So you learn something new about the character, and in this occasion, it was he obviously had a fascination with movie making and that theater of dreams, and so it was lovely, and I adored being on the set when the film within the film was being shot because I just found it absolutely fascinating, as Mr. Molesley would have done.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I'm going to jump back with you. This is, what was it like stepping into this world? Because, like Michelle said, this is a family. This is very different. What was it like for you coming into that?
Well, luckily for me, I guess that I was playing a character who was new to it all and who was arriving in with no particular, well, maybe he had preconceptions, but I don't think he's particularly hung up on the status of the family. I mean, I know you're talking about the family of actors, and that was a thing that I fortunately they made very easy, but also coming into the world of the house and the kind of privilege of it all was not so important to him. So I found that refreshing. I think that works very well in the script, and it's a driver for the story. I think it's part of what drives the relationship that they have, that Mary and my character have. So I enjoyed all of that.
I think he's probably one of the first characters to have come into that house and not sort of had a sort of sense of awe about it.
No, he's got more a sense of acquisitiveness. He's like, oh yes, this will be perfect for my purposes.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we have to wrap. It was really lovely. And Hugh, by the way, really quickly, I want to tell you, Adam, your performance meant a lot to me. bless you for that. Loved it.
Thank you.
For certain reasons. But absolute pleasure, guys. A really beautiful movie. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You.
Cheers, guys.
Have you told them, Lady Grantham?
She's told us nothing.
Do sit down. I've come into possession of a villa in the south of France.
What villa?
Start at the beginning.
Years ago, before you were born, I met a man.
They spend a few days together and he gives her a house.
You never thought to turn it down?
Do I look as if I'd turned down a villa in the south of France?
A telephone call for you, my lord. Mr. Barber is a producer and director.
He wants to make a film at Downton.
A moving picture at Downton.
Would there be film stars, famous ones?
I think it's a horrible idea. Actresses plastered in makeup and actors just plastered.
There is something about him, like a wild animal ready to spring.
Ready to spring on you, you mean?
Cut!
Sorry.
The modern world comes to Downton.
Why do you think he gave you the villa?
That is where the mystery resides.
Then go off to the Riviera. And with any luck, we'd miss the whole of Mary's frightful film.
I do hope that was a prop.
You steer ahead. You're the captain now. They better be warned. The British are coming.
Welcome to the Villa of the Doves. It's a beautiful place.
How happy you must be.
Oh, my goodness.
Who is she?
The Lady Grantham I first went to work for.
Granny!
Why did you invite us here?
It doesn't look good from afar if she felt the need to keep it a secret.
There's trouble in paradise.
You don't need me to tell you that marriage is a novel, full of plot twists along the way.
Women like us fall into two categories, dragons and fools. You must make sure they think of you as a dragon. But with that, I will say good night and leave you to discuss my mysterious past.
It seems the public only want films that talk.
I should have thought the best thing about films is that you can't hear them. It'd be even better if you couldn't see them either.